You know, what's astonishing today, if you take a look at the Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton in Cellular Study Research, what does he say? He says the same thing that I say. The Matrix documentary, right, is a documentary made about the fact that we're programmed and engineered. And those who think instinctively tune out the programming that we engineered with, we're conditioned into human conditioning. And we suffer the human condition throughout our life with stress, fear, anxiety, confusion, frustration, delusion, and paranoia. ADHD, psychosis, schizophrenia, bipolar, MS disorders, exploding out of control. From 1960 onwards, exploding out of control and affecting so many people across the world with that kind of placebo effect. Placebo. We have proven placebo is the most powerful tool on earth. Think about this. We did a placebo test, a placebo medication test, and discovered something else. We know some people on earth, we found the last human beings born on earth with DNA studies done, and DNA is declared the book of life. These people have a 27 times more powerful immune system than what we do. The last human beings born on earth. They can repair their DNA 24 hours a day. We can only repair at night time. Our body cells can corruption corrosion during the daytime and can only repair at night time. There's repairs 24 hours a day. That's astonishing. So let's pay attention to this for a moment. Their body cells work together 24 hours a day and repair defective genes, even cancer. Anything. Everything we die from is stress related. Every single thing we suffer from is stress related in our body cells. That's why they're going corruption, corrosion, illusion during the daytime and can only repair at night time. So it's a mindset we live in. It's in the mind. We know how far beta bacteria is collapsing between 45 and 100% across the whole world. In DNA studies done all over the world, Havana syndrome is exploding through the roof. In studies done all over the world where people are losing their magnetic poles. That's their 27 senses, their biosphere, their bioconnections, their 27 senses. It's thinking outside the mind. It's your moral instincts to think instinctively. Those that think instinctively will tune out the program. The rest are more like robots to fact check Google themselves with artificial intelligence, evolution, mutation, and virtual reality that they're trapped into the most. Thinking with the wrong grammar and using those words and nominating themselves and trapped inside their mind and suffer the consequences with stress, fear, anxiety, confusion, frustration, delusion, paranoia. You see, IQ only makes you good at what you do, but in fact not intelligent. Thinking outside the mind does make you very intelligent with 27 biosenses. That's why 1.3% of the human population can repair their genes, DNA, and immune system without any trauma, and they can think outside the mind, and some of these people can use 100% of their mind. Instead of being trapped in their minds, only use 7 to 15%, like 98.7% of the population is. And that's why we suffer so much. That's why the whole world's suffering and projecting that through the atmosphere. That's making animals go around circles around the earth, birds falling out of the sky with vertigo. That's exactly what we're seeing in the peer reports on Havana syndrome. Confusion, frustration, delusion in our body cells. We're confusing frustration, delusion because our body cells in corruption, corrosion, collusion. And that's exactly what the problem is. Because we think inside the mind too much and we suffer the consequences with voice in the mind that's been ultimately designed for human extinction. Ultimate design? Yes. It's declared it's ultimate design for human extinction. We think too much on reverse psychology to be competitive creatures, judgmental, competitive. We live in our own truth in some sort of comfort zone. And that's what we're living in, a comfort zone. All we can't handle is truth, can't face it, can't deal with it. But we argue, debate, and divide non-stop, and we can't even keep our families and friends together anymore, not in real life. That's what's happening across the world. We're becoming more artificial, more synthetic, and it's seen in our DNA in the second chromosome, evolving non-stop. Now's the time to wake up from amnesia and discover who you really are and what you're really genuinely capable of, because it's beyond the mind if you know what the tools are, right? To restore your biofields with the book Freedom by Jan McGriffiths, the book of life, and over 16,000 top scholars, that we need to learn how to use our biofields, biological system, and the mind's the problem. We're trapped inside the mind with an IQ that only makes us good at what we do, but in fact not intelligent. Now, you know what's astonishing about this? It's one of the most critical things about placebo, because we have the top scientists in the world doing these studies, and biological evidence. DNA is declared the book of life. And as Jeremy Griffith says, we found the cure for every single thing we suffer from. We can preserve our DNA, no more suffering, no more gene defects, and live beyond the mind in such a way we don't have a death experience because we do not die. That's right. We can repair our genes to live to be 1,000 years old, okay, by thinking outside the mind, by understanding our biological system correctly, and how biospheres really work by thinking instinctively and thinking outside the mind, not trapped inside the skull in the mind. That's exactly what the problem is. And when you understand the truth sets you free in such a way you ain't even dreamt about, in your wildest imagination, in your wildest dreams. So reality is dimensional thinking. Okay, the light bulb idea is the picture that shows you animals with the third eye. It opens up the portal to dimensional thinking with remote viewing, mental telepathy, and ESP, and all these wonderful things to preserve DNA as well, and never suffer any mental disorders, any stress and anxiety, or confusion, frustration ever again. Think about how wonderful that would be. Okay, it's a mind, it's a skull, it's a voice of the mind. We can make feelings to thoughts with an outside influence in our reality in 5 sensitive negative fields from a lower dimensional field. To think outside the mind is to make sure that the conscious mind is the reptilian brain with a high IQ. Okay, we can only use up to 7 to 15% of this, even with a high IQ. But it's also the wrong mindset, because the consciousness is only a middle process, an illusion imagination that's unaware of the outside influence on our reality with sevenfold wisdom and knowledge in such a way we receive a vortex of information, right? With the light bulb idea is where the most powerful ideas come from, out of the blue. And you know, a genius just knows this. The entrepreneurs in this world knows that they always get the best ideas from out of the blue, from a light bulb idea. The light bulb idea, we know that idea, right? And that's where this influence comes from. Okay, and that's magnificent. That's where we can master the mind and control our mind from the outside in instead of the inside out. Because when we think critically, our voice will tell us to do it and don't do it, and give us 5 reasons why we should and why we shouldn't. But when you can feel the truth, you have an outside influence with another dominant effect where you can see from the outside in. And when you can see that, you can see a dominant effect that's completely different, with a multiple perception and a universal language with multiple layers, like a parallel world. Parallels, right? And it's a layer of information with a universal language with codependent physics of the atmosphere, with a relationship. And you have a relationship with all things in life and nature and all the things we're in harmony with codependent feelings with the same relationship. And you know what it is? It's loyalty, honor, respect, moments, inspiration, encouragement. They're the most positive feels coded in your own DNA, right? When you bring them to the highest frequencies. And when you bring them to the highest frequencies with the real quantum mechanics that's coded in your own DNA, that's to live by it. That's to do this in real life and be connected to all things in life and nature and all things in harmony. When we do that, we've now proven we create 10 times more fruit with 10 times more nutrition value and 10 times better oxygen, the holy breath of life, right? Where we alert, alive, waking up, we're in a primal state. We did a placebo test with medication with ADHD, psychosis, schizophrenia, and bipolar, right? And you know what we learned? We can take 1,000 people on their medication and 1,000 people on a placebo medication and exactly the same outcome. The identical outcome, which means that placebo is more powerful than what you realize when you have faith in something. You know, we always created with faith, but what we come to learn about this, any negative field, any manipulation, any single twisted fabric of truth, you hurt your own DNA with a placebo effect that's inverted. So it happens to yourself. What you project through the atmosphere in negative fields or twisting the fabric of truth that lives in some delusional state, and you think you're egotistical in any way, shape, or form, it comes back in your DNA, right? With 10 times more power with that kind of placebo effect. What you throw the atmosphere, what you throw into the atmosphere comes back at you 10 times harder in your own DNA. So when you project love with the quantum mechanics of relationship, with the meaning of life, because that's what it is, right? A relationship. The meaning of love is love. And it's a quantum mechanics and the building blocks of what a relationship of love is all about. And it's being righteous and it's being authentic to yourself about this. And what you project out there comes back at you tenfold and repairs your DNA. So when you live by the quantum mechanics coded to everything in DNA and everything in life with DNA, that's 2 billion living things you're connected to, believe it or not. And when you're in that harmony and in those bridge, in those vibrations, everything is perfect. No more pain, stress, and fear in a time where times in life preserves. And that happens to your DNA. So it's always been about faith. And if you don't have faith, you destroy yourself. And right now we go for a natural selection life, a natural order with our natural massacres. So I suggest you store on with the book Freedom by Jeremy Griffiths and win up the breathing program to recreate the second screen you can create the conduction agency with, to give you that kind of divine power, because believe me, it's the greatest time to be alive. Don't miss out on this, guys.